Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we are starting this thing off early because we got a full show tonight. I got a lot of cool topics we're going to go through. Hopefully, we can get to them all because there are a couple videos I want to watch with you guys. One being a shop tour of Kizer knives, but the main point I want to get to is the sharpening. And it's nothing against their sharpening. It's all factory sharpening and how it goes. But we'll get into that when we get there. How's everybody doing tonight? I seen, I think it was Fiend asked for a pocket check. So today, because, you know, I got to test knives out and everything else, I'm carrying right now the Ace Grand because I want to get this video up on Tuesday. I'd like to get it up by Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can make that happen. I gotta modify this lock bar access for the video. I'm pretty much ready for the video. I don't think I recorded the sharpening on it. I don't remember. I don't think I did. Regardless, though, I'm very impressed with that Lmax. You know, I don't have a ton of experience with Lmax, and you don't see it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't see it on a lot of knives, but I'm starting to wish I would because, you know, I learned a lot about it. I started reading up on it. You know, after sharpening it, took a hell of a sharp edge. It's been holding an edge. So the one thing that I've read or that's been pretty consistent with the things I've been reading, I know it's not 7:30 yet. We started a little early. But the one thing that I've seen that's been pretty consistent across the board about Lmax is that it's similar to M390 without the problems in the heat treat process. Because if you guys don't know, you know, M390 on paper is an amazing steel, and on a knife is an amazing steel. It was made for the plastics industry, really good steel, long edge holding, and it does and it's plenty tough too. It's very tough for considering its edge retention. It's very tough, but the other thing is that it has incredible corrosion resistance. So to get a stainless like that with that much edge retention is incredible. The problem with it is that it's finicky. It's difficult to heat treat. Lmax doesn't have that problem. Now, it doesn't have quite as good as edge retention as M390, but I bet, what's up, Stasa? I would argue to say that it might be even better. And I'm saying that because with M390, you're going to get a lot of variables. And I mean that like you could have five knives from the same company, and they could possibly be all a little bit different, just the way M390 is on a production level. Now, yes, there are some companies that are doing a good job with it, especially custom heat treaters and blah, 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 blah. But Lmax doesn't have that issue, supposedly. Obviously, I'm not a heat treater, but supposedly it's a lot easier to heat treat. So even though, like with the, what is that edge retention test that they do on knives? The CAD test or whatever it's called. I forget the name of it. Anyways, in their testings, M390 beat it by a little bit, but not much. I mean, not much at all. A couple percent. So in that case, I would think that possibly across the board, like if we had a whole bunch of Lmax and a whole bunch of M390, I bet we would see Lmax outbeating M390 in a lot of cases with edge retention. Now, it also has this about the same stain resistance and toughness and everything. So on paper. So, and I don't know. I'm liking it though, man. I'm liking it a lot. I've been testing it and I'm very, very impressed with it. I've sharpened Lmax before, but there's not much have I gotten to really test it, especially with my own stuff. And I'm impressed. I am impressed. So we're going to go to a new Tucson that just came out. Now, this is a very high number. I did try to bid on it, but I lost. Might as well show you guys because being that it's such a high number, it's not going to go cheap. You guys know how it goes when Tucson's first hit the market. They sell for ridiculous amounts. Not even ridiculous. Honestly, they sell for what they're worth. Thing is, though, is that if you just wait a couple months, you'll get it for half that price. What is going on here? Right now, we are checking out this Tucson, and this is the TS 381, and it's the one. Well, can you get, what do you guys see? Let me see what you guys see, because when I go into this, I'm not going to be able to see it. Okay, so we have, let me see something. Give me 1 second, guys. Why isn't it showing me the one I want to show? I'm trying to show you guys this one. It's the black one on the right, but yeah.
How many subscribers did you used to have to go live on YouTube?
1,000.
1,000. I don't think it's like that anymore, right?
Well, it depends on if you have a computer or something. You can do it if you have a computer, but if you want to do it on YouTube, like there's ways you can go live, but like on YouTube or something, like I don't know how that works. They wouldn't let us go live until we had 1,000. All right, sorry. It's the one on the right here. I'm trying to show it to you guys, but it might not let me show it to you the way I want to show it to you. So we'll see here. No, I don't think it's going to. It won't. It just keeps opening up other pages. So I'll just go back. So it's the one on the right, and I wanted to go through the pictures of it, but it's not going to let me because it'll make me open up another page and everything else. But it looks pretty awesome, and it is a Tepe design. It is an M390. So I think it looks pretty awesome. I tried to bid on it, and then it went up to $150, and it's not even done yet. So I just gave up on it. I'm not even going to try to mess with it. Man, I bet I could share this. Let me go like this. You know what? I think I can. Let me do this really quick. It'll take me 2 seconds with you guys. So here in just a second, though, like I was telling the other guys, that we are going to check out Kizer's. Oh, here we go. All right. So now this should, yes, it does. Okay. So you guys see it? It looks pretty dope. That's the blade. It is almost 8 inches overall. Now this is brand new. And if you guys don't know, Tepe always numbers his. You see this one's number 15. Looks like he's using basically the same clip he's been using. You see how it's up to 150. Let me flip through a little bit. Let's check this out. Here's the spine. The clip, Tepe's clips work great. It looks like the blade is crowned. That is one thing I noticed. It does look like it has a crowned spine. Now, if you look at this, you can see the opening hole, or the opening aperture. You can see it looks like it's very accessible, and it's got a flipper. So you got 2 forms of deployment. Looks pretty solid to me. I don't know. Maybe sometime in the near future. I tried to bid on it, but once everybody else knows about it, man, it'll just keep going up in price. Hit that like button. Thank you, EDC Oz. I appreciate that. Let's get that algorithm going. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. So, next thing, where is it? So, you guys know I recently got, what the hell is the name of it? When's that one? The Suncut episode. Okay, I got the Suncut episode, and everybody was saying that it's just an Actium. It's a Suncut Actium. That's what everybody's saying. It's Suncut Actium. Now, they do have a lot of similarities, but let me tell you, there's a lot of differences here too. So one, obviously the Actium has the thumb stud, right? This one doesn't. Another thing, this is super thin behind the edge. The Actium is a deep hollow. I love this knife. This is a really good knife. In my opinion, this is possibly one of the better budget knives you could buy. And We makes it, or Civivi makes it. Now, this one is thicker. And I'm not saying that's bad because you get a full grip. I mean, a nice, comfortable grip, and it's not like stupid thick. I would never say that this is out of line or doesn't make sense. This perfectly makes sense. A nice, tall, flat grind. It's not thick behind the edge. It's just a flat grind. So it's just a little bit more robust than this. However, still a great slicer. I mean, it's nice and thin behind the edge. It's a flat grind. The difference, this is a hollow. This is flat. So it's just by nature, it's going to be, I don't know if that's nature, but it's going to be a little tougher. Next thing is, what was the next thing? The jimping's definitely different. It's a little taller. This ramp is longer. This one is a little shorter. And there is the finger groove. The access to the lock bar is still really good. And this one has the finger choil, which I really like. This one does not. So that is another downfall. Then you got the steels. The steels are different. This is 9CR. The Actium is D2. But I just get a lot of comments saying, oh, it's the same. It's the same. It is very different. Yeah, they have the same shape overall. So they're going to, actually, you know what? This one is a drop point. This is a clip point. So actually they're even more different than I thought. This one goes straight down. It does not scoop up at all. It literally just goes straight down. This one has a little bit of a Persian. Not much at all. Hey, quiet down. So, yeah, big differences there. Okay. USA companies, guys. I'm just going to say this really quickly. USA companies, man. We got to start emailing them, talking crap. Now, I did see Stasa23. He recently had the Torah knives, the Merchant, and the Behemoth Mongrel. The Behemoth Mongrel was OEM'd by Medford. So the quality's there. However, there are some things I can see right off the bat just looking at it. Like even Stasa said, it's thick behind the edge. So he said, yeah, you could just get a regrind. Yeah, of course you could get a regrind. But when you're spending that much money already, now the Torah knives, I thought those looked cool. I might have gotten one if I didn't hear so many people had so many issues. Not acceptable. But where I'm going with this is the budget knives. And I'm not saying budget knives like Civivi prices. I'm saying USA budget knives, right? $100, $150, $200. Where are all these companies from the USA? It's mind-blowing to me. It's like China's winning. I mean, and I keep getting these comments about China knives, and it's like, what do you want me to do, man? I'm a knife reviewer. I review the knives that come out. Go argue with the USA companies. Go yell at them. Tell them to make something new. Tell them to pump some shit out for 2021. The couple knives we did see in 2021, I don't think Benchmade did anything new, but the mini, what did he do? They did the mini 940. I don't know if they did anything else. ZT, they did them two knives. I don't like them. I mean, I would review them if I got them, but I'm definitely not spending that kind of money on them to get them because I already know I don't like them. And I might get them and like them, but I'm just saying, where's the USA Kershaw's at? Where's the bare knuckle number 2 or the knockout number 2, the leak number 12? I mean, give me something. But yeah, I like TRM too. I love TRM, but they are a small company, and I think they're killing. I think they're doing a great job. We can only expect so much out of them, and guess what? They're doing it. They're doing the damn deal. They're pushing the limits and doing what they can to bring us knives. But we can't expect them to be Benchmade or Kershaw because they're not that big yet. I hope one day they are, but they're not right yet. So they're doing what they can. And they only have a couple models. But for the knife companies that can do it, I don't know. I just think we need to see some more out of the US so that so that I can stop getting all the hateful comments. I hear great things about American Blade Works. So I do got one of those. Mine, I like mine now. I do like mine now. I did have to do some work on it. I did have to send it in for rock. There was getting some play in the pivot. Not a big deal. They fixed it. The one problem I had was that they wound up replacing my titanium liners with steel liners. I wasn't happy with that. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But one of the reasons why I bought it was because it was a titanium liner. I actually was buying it to give it to somebody. And I probably will give it to them still now. But I got it because it was a titanium liner. And then I send it in, and he winds up replacing my titanium liners with steel liners and doesn't even say nothing until after he's done. Then he's like, "Oh yeah, I replaced the liners with this, and it's good quality steel." At least that's what he says. I believe him. I believe him, definitely. But it's just a thing, It's kind of like right now, if I sold you any knife, and I told you it's titanium liner lock, this and that, and then you send it into the company and they send it back and put steel liners on it, you'd have it'd leave a sour taste in your mouth. Now, then I got it and I had problems with the pivot, or not with the pivot. It was just gritty. There was like not smooth at all. I fixed all that myself, but to me, I don't know. I know they're mid-techs. They're great knives. I like the knife. I love the way the knife looks. There's so many good qualities about that knife. That company has so much potential, so much. And mine right now is solid. I love mine now, but the journey to where it's at now, it was a journey. Not that big of a deal. I don't mind working on knives. I don't mind that, but there are little things you expect to just happen in the factory, Okay, next thing. This one I'm gonna have to pull up, so give me 1 second. How do I do this? So, I don't know if I told you guys this, or maybe I said it in my video. I think I might have said it in my video. So, the Kizer Roach. So Kizer is actually getting or making a new Roach, a mini Roach with a flipper. Doesn't that sound awesome? With a flipper. So let me see if I can show it to you guys. I don't remember which page it was on, so give me 1 second. No, I think it was on this other guys. Let me go back. What is it? Right here. Okay, so I think it's on his page. Yep, here it is. So this is the new Roach. This is obviously just on a computer. So we got to wait for them to do a prototype. Yeah, thumb hole. What did I say? Flicking hole? I don't know what I said. I'm talking out of my ass, guys. I apologize. But this is the new one. So if you guys look at the one I have, now that one's a mini version. I never had the Roach until now. So, but this micarta, this green micarta, I think might be the best micarta Kizer has had so far. I'm going to take this down. We'll pull it back up. This micarta is really, really good. Now, they do have 2 different colors. I'm glad I got the green because this is the one I would have wanted. It's going to start turning green, the longer you have it. And it's so fluffy. It feels really good in the hand. But yeah, all the fibers are really good. And it is USA micarta. So that's awesome. Now, this new one, I don't know the handle material or anything like that. This is just a computer-generated image. It looks sweet, though. I'm already loving it. I don't know. Does he say the size there? I don't know if he says the size. Let me see if he says the size. No, he's not saying the size. But I don't know. He's not saying the size, but it looks awesome to me. I would get it for sure, especially if it came out in this micarta. Because this is a large knife. It's not a small knife. It is I think the blade is 3.5. Yeah, 3.5 exactly from this point. So perfect size to me, but man, a Spidey flicking hole would be really nice. Real nice. So this was just a thought, right? This was just a thought when I was, what knife was it? I was asking people to, oh, it was that new Tucson. I told people to tell me what blade shape this is on this TS 270. This thing's pretty awesome, guys. So I was telling people, hey, name that blade shape. Oop, sorry. I'm going to go like this. I'm just kicking this off really quick. So I was like, name that blade shape. I had somebody say the iron, all different kinds of shapes. But I started thinking about it. You know, we have basically every blade shape you can have. We really can't really come up with another blade shape. But every time we have a new blade shape that is unique, we always call it something similar to something we have. Like, say, a modified Warncliffe, a modified sheep's foot, a modified drop point. I feel like we should just come up with another name. So I was kind of thinking about some, so because like the one, what was it? The Tucson TS 129. I started calling that a drop foot, but somebody else named it in my comments when I asked them to name it. I said, hey, name what this blade shape should be. And they called it a drop foot. And I was like, perfect. So ever since then, every time I see that blade shape, I call it a drop foot blade shape. That's what it is. But I was thinking it'd be cool if one of these knife designers, knife makers, or whatever made a blade shape and then actually named the blade shape instead of just going with, oh, it's a clip point, you know, oh, it's a reverse tanto. We could argue for days about whether or not something's a reverse tanto or a clip point. I would love for somebody just to come out with some fucking off the wall name and just say that's the name of that blade shape, right? I'm naming it. It's my blade shape. I'm naming it. I think that would be hilarious. It's a sheep's beak. What was that one? Don't get this. No. Looks like that one CJRB. I don't know which one you're talking about. A shark's foot. Kind of. Yeah, it kind of is like the shark's foot. But that you're right though. He did do that, didn't he? But he just took a sheep's foot and called it a shark's foot because of the shark lock. That to me isn't really naming the blade shape. That's more just, you know, taking a sheep's foot and putting shark in front of it because he has the shark lock on it. Best coffee, guys. The best. All right, let's move along. So I do want to thank everybody. You guys are amazing. So I did hit a peak on YouTube. It's so awesome. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate all the new subscribers. We are literally about to hit 11K. We just hit 10K. I haven't even done the giveaway for the Patreons. That's tomorrow. So if the Patreons are in here, watch for that video tomorrow. I'm going to post it tomorrow. And yes, Sinister, thank you. So my normal 48-hour views. So in my analytics, it tells me like how many views I get in 48 hours. So typical is between 12 and 16,000. That's typical views in 48 hours. I am up to almost 39,000. I think it was 38 something thousand in 48 hours. That is amazing. Also, I am at my highest ratio of subs per 28 days. So I'm at 900 and something subs per every 28 days. So basically I'm at right now. Now that goes up and down, but it means I'll be getting basically 1,000 subs a month. If everything's stuck with the way it is right now, which it always goes up and down, but right now it's right around there. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And I'm thanking you guys. In 28 days, I'm at 269,000 views in 28 days. That's amazing. Now, I have hit that number before, but this is a little bit more consistent, so it's amazing. Because those numbers always go up and down. Always. They'll always go up and down. Just like even like your, what you make or anything like that. It's always like this. So it just depends on the work you put in. Depends on the work, the types of videos, the type of content. It's all generated from work. And that's why not everybody, there are a couple flukes out there that barely do anything and they just happen to do really good. For the most part, most people that do wind up doing pretty good, it's because of the work they put in. It just is. Like I said, but I said this the other day, and this is just for anybody who is curious. What does it take to get to 1,000 subscribers? On average, between 4 million YouTube channels, they did an average 158 videos or 154 videos is what it takes to get to 1,000 subs. So like anybody who has 50 videos up and is complaining about not being at 1,000 yet, typical is 150 something. So you can't really complain unless if you've passed that amount of videos, right? But anyways, thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. Next thing, what else was it I want to say? He's in the zone. He hasn't worried about the chat. I am in the zone. I got like 3 pages of shit. I'm sorry, guys. All right, I'm gonna read the chat for a second, then we'll go back. Yes, I am in the zone because I've been writing stuff down because the past couple lives, I shit the bed, guys. I shit the bed. I didn't have much written down. Like the last one, I think I had 1 page of stuff written down, and I typically have 2 to 3, but because I was expecting people to come on and other things and just being busy and blah, 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 I had every excuse in the world, but I shit the bed. So it's on me. I shit the bed. And my lives should have been better, and I was not happy with them. So what's typical is these fucktards not hitting the damn like button. I have over 150 videos, and I'm at almost 200 subs. Are you sure you have 150 videos you posted? And then also, how long are the videos? Like, there's a certain time limit, and that's not saying that that's exactly what it's going to be. That's just on average. So just because that's what the average is, that's just giving you an idea. Like, so if you haven't hit a certain marker yet, then you got to pump out more, or in that case, you got to look at the quality. Because I could fucking post 2,000 videos right now of me just sitting here looking at the screen. It doesn't mean I'm going to get 1,000 subs, right? So it does fall back on the content creator, the sound quality, the lighting, the content you're providing. If you're not teaching anything, like you do have to look at that, because it's not about just the videos or the amount of videos. It's saying if you are putting out quality content that people enjoy, the average is about 150 something videos. And that usually takes a while to pump out that many videos. Like usually the only people that can do that as quick as you've been on that many, like, because you haven't had a channel that long. So if you have that many, then I can't imagine, and this is no like talking shit or anything, but like the only channels that usually do that fast that much are like reaction channels, like music reaction channels, because they can just do 1 song, go to the next video, and they can make 10 videos a day reacting to 10 songs. Thanks. I'll make a video tomorrow. I got to, even though my week was sad. Dude needs to tell me what's up with that shirt. USA made, baby. It's a Spartan. I got this it's USA made. It's actually made in Wisconsin. Not too far from here. Yeah, it was. Well, yeah. Thanks, Carrie. Yes, the thumbnail definitely helped. The video is all my idea though, and the thumbnail. First of all, second of all, yes, that definitely helped. But that has nothing to do with like the big ratio. That's one video. I've got a bunch of videos that are like that. It's doing those types of videos in a row. I planned that video when I dropped it. You know, I told you guys I was going to do that shit. I told you guys I have to play the algorithm, right? If I want to grow a channel, you got to play the algorithm. And the content wasn't bad. It's not like I'm shitting out bad content. That's Kara's legit carry, literally. And that's literally what she's carried the most the past couple of months. So it's not like it's bullshit. It's real. It's just I knew that would be something. Plus, I actually had that requested. Multiple people requested that video. So, you know, I just gave people what they wanted. The thumbnail, though. Yeah, the thumbnail. You know, what can I say? You know, it is what it is, you know. Yeah, I have to get a better camera than my phone. It just isn't working. Mostly folders with a bit of everything. Thank you for the 5 bones. I appreciate it, man. Glad I'm not a YouTuber. Sounds too much like work. Yes, well, I'm treating it like work. I absolutely am treating it like work. Like everybody who, and I'm not talking shit, but anybody who says like that they don't want to make a dime or they do it for fun or this is just a hobby for them, good for them. I'm doing it because I do want to make it a business. I 100% do. I came into this wanting to do that. And I've never lied about that. I've never said I wasn't. I've always said I would love to do that and that I wanted to do that. And that's what I'm trying to do. But yeah, it is a lot of work. But just like with anything, it's like if I did construction, right? And I worked 5 hours a week or even 20 hours a week, I'm not going to make good money on it. Right. And you can't expect the quality of my work to be very good. But when you put in the amount of hours and you know, and you learn as you're going and, you know, learn how to perfect whatever skill you're doing and, you know, keep making your quality better and everything else, then, you know, it's you're going to be successful. You know, it just takes time and effort, and the effort is the biggest thing. So the question though is about the camera. You said about the camera. So I use my phone. Okay, for these lives, I do use a camera. This is a $100 camera I got from Amazon for live streams. That's all it is. My phone, I did upgrade because my camera on my old phone was going bad. So that is one thing you do have to worry about. I have insurance on my new phone, so if it goes bad, I can get it fixed. However, my camera's really good on my new phone. That's why I picked that phone. Technically, I think me and Metal Complex have the same phone. I didn't know that till recently. It's not that I got it because of his. I called up and I was asking what phone has the best camera because I'm better with phones. Now, I've never had a camera. Never in my life have I ever had a fucking camera. I don't know the first thing about using one of those. So, and they're expensive. They're very, very expensive. I needed a new phone already, and that's something I make payments on and everything else. But eventually, I do want to invest in a GoPro or a good camera. Talking to Best Damn EDC, man, his camera's like $3,500, and his lens is at like $1,200. So that's why his quality is so good. But what the fuck? Alex, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, bud. Ray's phone is badass. Ray has a huge setup. He's got cameras and phones and all kinds of shit set up. But Happy Cows come from California. I thought the camera was fine, but the battery kept dying during the lives. I thought that was why you replaced it. No, I replaced it. The whole phone was just going bad. My camera was going bad. So if you go on my Instagram and you go back to when my last like 5 posts with my old shit, you can see the quality just getting worse and worse and worse. And somebody brought it to my attention. I didn't even realize it. Somebody messaged me and says, "Hey, dude, your camera's going bad." And I was like, "What?" And I was confused. I literally was confused. I was like, "Okay." And then I started thinking about, like, is he serious? So I went through my stuff and I started looking at it. I was like, no shit. And I could see my post just getting worse and worse and worse. And then the last one I posted, the one he commented on, I could see, like, I think before that, like, I was kind of looking at, like, why are my pictures looking like this? My videos were looking like crap. That's why my thing wasn't focusing good. And then it just wasn't clear. It was not crystal clear. So many different factors. But yeah, my camera was going bad. It's shit now. But also the battery time, there was a lot of different things. The phone was just getting old. It was going bad. That's what happened, right? So now I got this new one and it works like a champ. But using your camera on a phone, you know, for your business or whatever, eventually it's going to go bad. So I just hope that doesn't happen. And if it does, I do have insurance on it. But eventually I am going to have to invest in some sort of camera or GoPro. I just don't know the first thing about using them, but that's the next step, right? That's just one more process of learning and figuring it out, which I'll do 100%. I'll do it eventually. I just gotta, ain't nothing to it but to do it. What phone do I have? I have the oh shit. I don't remember. Oh, the S damn it. The something S something Pro. I can't. It's fuck me. Just look up the phone with the best camera. It's like an SR21 Pro or so. Yeah, SR21 Pro or SR21 Plus. That's what it is. Yeah, we like those dislikes. We love those dislikes. I can't believe do we have dislikes right now? Oh, we got one of them bitches. We got one of them. Yeah, S20 Ultra, S21 Ultra. Yeah, there you go. Bam. That's it. The S21 Ultra. Yeah. And you can see the camera. And also another thing is the zoom. I can zoom 100 times. It's crazy because when you zoom in anything 100 times, you barely move. And it's like you moved a mile because you're zoomed in so close. So like I could zoom in on a frog across a pond and it'll zoom right into it. And pretty clear too. So I mean, it's a damn good camera. I just hope that the quality doesn't mean that if I keep using it, it's going to go bad fast. I hope that's not the case. I just recently found out that, like, for iPhones, that once the new one comes out, the old one starts getting slower. I never knew that. But if you have an iPhone, as soon as the new one drops, then the old one, the one previous to the new one, starts getting worse. That's crazy, man. Talk about, making you buy a new one. That's why everybody winds up buying the new one. Hate it or love it, it's all the same to the algorithm. It's about interactions. Interactions is really big, but you don't get the interactions if you don't. So, like, views is the biggest thing. Views, watch time, things like that. With lives, or all videos. So comments, likes, that makes the algorithm realize people like this, so then they push it more. The views is another thing. So the more views you get, the more they will put it into people's thing, for people to see it. The suggestions. So you got to get people to click. If you get people to click and watch, then but the one thing though is you kind of feel like shit when, like, say if you post let's just say a 10-minute video, right? A 10-minute video, and say 1,000 people clicked on it, but then when you look at the watch time, it's like 38 seconds. It's like, fuck, man, this video must suck because nobody wants to watch it longer than 40 seconds. And that's an average, but still though, it's a shitty feeling, but that's why you got to focus on the content. The content is so important, trapping people's attention and getting people to continue watching. And you can't make everybody happy, right? If I go fast through a video and I say, if I go, this is the wee baby banter, blah, 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 blah. This steals this, G10, whatever. And I go to the next one, I'll have 10 thank yous saying, oh man, finally a person that just gets to the video and starts doing it. And then I'll get 5 comments like, you didn't tell me the price. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You can't make everybody happy, but finding a happy middle ground where you do some videos like this, some like that, and just, find your spot, what people, the people that follow you like, and also what gets you the most attention with the algorithm. And that's kind of what's happening right now. I would hate Apple if I hadn't bought the stock years ago. That's hilarious. Part of the content is your personality. Yes, that's definitely true. You can't expect to get people's attention if your personality is not good, if you don't have a good sense of humor, and if you have, this is one thing too, man. If the comments piss you off or hate or things like that, it's not for you. It's not for you, because you're definitely gonna get some people saying some messed up stuff to you, and you just got to deal with it. I mean, I laugh it off. I think it's hilarious, but a lot of people take it personal, which I think is just crazy, to take something personal from somebody who doesn't know you, who's never seen you, and probably doesn't even watch your content. It does suck though when you get somebody that watches your content and they say something that's not personal, but they're upset about something. I take those seriously. I definitely take those seriously. And because I don't, want to turn away from somebody giving me some constructive criticism when they watch my channel and they actually appreciate the content. They're saying it because they like it and they want to, help improve it. But yeah, right. Haters are always going to hate, always. And the thing is, you're always going to have the people, and I hate to use this word like this because it makes me feel like shit saying it, but like jealousy, right? And they don't have anything to be jealous of, and I know that, but for some reason people do, and people will, kind of like me getting knives, right? Company send knives. So what? Right? So what that they send me knives? They send me knives for me to advertise for them. And I put in so much work. That's why. It's like anybody can say, oh, I wish companies would send me knives. It's like, okay, we'll work 140 hours. Right? And then fucking, it's like it works both ways, right? You can put in hours at work and buy the fucking knives just the same as me putting it in and getting them sent to me. Do you know what I mean? Like either way, the work is still there. So to me, it's like there's nothing to be jealous about there. It's just the difference is I have a channel. So that's, you might work at a fucking mechanic shop and might get mechanic parts for free or something. It's just, and I don't get everything for free, right? It's like the stuff I'd love to get for free, I don't, but unless if it's coming from Mr. Amazing, because in that case, that's amazing. But shout out to him. But yeah, I don't like, and I hate to sound arrogant or anything like that, because that's not me. I'm like the most humble person ever, but I get those comments, like where people are talking shit because it's making it seem like I'm making a good video on something because a company sent it to me. It's not the way this works, man. It's not the way it works. I would never, ever do that. Speaking of that, we're about to talk about a company. So, the shielded knives, okay? So when I did, I'm going to read the comments first, and then we're going to talk about this, because I have been slacking on the comments. Sorry. I apologize. At 300 likes, Jared is give away a CRK. Yeah, you wish. But the Patreons, man. Oh, you mean 300? Wait, hold on a second. At 300 likes? 300 likes can't get a CRK. I wouldn't get through. If you guys could get me up to 300 likes, I wouldn't give you a CRK, but I would I'd give something away just because that would be a mile marker I haven't hit on a live. But speaking of giveaway though, tomorrow is I'm going to be doing the Patreon giveaway, so watch out for that. And like I say every single time, I can't always give away stuff that winds up exceeding the amount of money that I get from Patreon, because that just doesn't make sense, right? But it is for the 10,000 follower giveaway. And it seems like every month I say that, and every single month I still give away something that winds up being damn near the same thing I make off of Patreon every month. It's hilarious. I think last month I gave away far more. I just remembered we gave away what 3-4 different giveaways or something like that, and just the stones alone were worth more than what I make off of Patreon. But yeah, I love being able to, I love, giving back as much as I possibly can. Swing. Folks sometimes don't understand the intricacies of all that. Hollywood has warped our minds about reality. Absolutely. It's crazy though, right? It is insane how people think things work. It's mind-blowing to me. It's kind of like it's kind of like the thought of, hey, quiet down. It's kind of like saying you want to work out, right? Like, man, I wish I had muscles like you, right? Then I'm just talking like, say, somebody speaking to like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, or anybody, right? You can, but you got to be dedicated and fucking get up every morning at 3 a.m. and start your workout, and then work out at night too, and eat like this and do, you know what I mean? So it's like when you don't want to crawl out of bed, guess what? You got to crawl out of bed on your day offs. Guess how many hours you're working on your day? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's crazy that people think that it's just like you just show up. Even like with the interactions, I love dealing and talking with everybody. I love it. But I also do it when I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like I answer all my mail, every single bit. I answer everybody. Sometimes I might be a little late, but I'll get to it. But I know a lot of people, they don't answer any mail. None. Try writing them a message. Send them an email or send them an Instagram. Hell, I know they don't, because they won't even answer me. So I know they ain't answering you fucks. That's a joke, guys, but seriously though, they won't. Oh, what's up, Logical? Can you do me a favor? Can you show off the Torah Kukri next to the rocks that I want to see which is shinier? All right, let's see. Let's see which one's shinier. This. Let me get my thing really quick so I can get the most shine out of it. Man, that's gonna be tough, but this one being brand new the way it is, even though I have used it, it's probably gonna win. But this has, even though it is an absolute mirror, like absolute mirror, I can see I don't know what it's called. I don't know, the finish a little bit, even though it is an absolute mirror. Kind of like if you look at a rim. You ever seen a mirror polished rim? You can still, if you look really close, you can see kind of the dimpling. So let me give you guys something to look at through it, though. How about the baby banter? See if we can do this. Let's see if this works. Oh, I can't even do it. Oh, almost. Everything's backwards. I'm definitely not going to be able to do this. I'll just do this. It's so backwards. You can see my stuff over there. Let's go this way. You guys might be able to see Douglas. Where's Douglas? Come on. Oh, there's my box over there. There's the Neevesknives thing. Now, let's look at the Rocky. I seen somebody else had their Rockstead. There was a Rockstead for sale. It's the same one on Apostle Peace channel. And they put theirs down this way. I don't know if I would do that. I guess it is firmer. So maybe you're supposed to do that. I always put mine in like this, though, with the top. So I can go like this, pull it out, and go like that. All right, let's try this one now. I try to use a brand new wipe when I wipe down my Rocky. All right. You be the judge. Ooh, we got a smear. That's the one thing with mirror polish, man. It is fingerprinty. There we go. Yeah, I think the Rockstead might have it. Oh, you can even see the video if I go down this way. See the iPad right there? That's you guys. Oh, it's seeing the backwards way. Fucking love that knife. Somebody said, I don't remember who it was. Somebody said, you're putting away your kukri wrong. What? I'm putting away the kukri wrong? Does that even make sense to you? I think there's only one way you can put away a kukri. All right. Yeah, the Rockstead for sure. But you can kind of expect that because imagine the amount of time it takes to mirror polish a kukri. You know, you're talking, it would be like polishing 50 Rocksteads or something. You know what I mean? Like the size difference. Slimmitty for me. I got it on the table. I should have brought it out. I really like the new finish that Medford's doing, though. It's like a mirror polish stonewash, which the Slish Buoy was kind of like the, I don't know about the first one, but the Slish Buoy was the one that was kind of known for that finish, that mirror stonewash finish. But Medford has taken it to another level. It's different, but similar at the same time. It looks so good. I really like it. Rocking my Tuya Envy 2. Fire ass knife. I love that knife. If you're supposed to keep your fixed blades, you're not supposed to keep your fixed blades in the sheaths. It can patina quickly. That no, they said it to me in the video. I had just unboxed it and like I was outside with it. But yeah, I know you're not supposed to keep them in leather sheaths, but where I'm at, I have no worries. There's no moisture. Nothing rusts where I'm located now. That doesn't mean I don't take care of it. It doesn't mean I don't oil it. That doesn't mean I don't keep it safe. That doesn't mean like when people sent me knives and leather sheaths, I took them out. I didn't leave them in there. So because I know it's still possible, especially if I'm using them on anything. But I've only had it a few days, but it's pretty dry down here. The only things I've ever really had rust were things that I actually used and just didn't take care of. But yeah, I know what you mean. You shouldn't do that though. Which I'll probably eventually take it out and keep it out of it. Possibly. We'll see. I just don't think it'll really affect it here. Jared, there is a wrong way to put away a kukri. They mean your fingers are across the edge of the scabbard. So if it cuts through the scabbard, your fingers. Oh, but I'm not really. You're talking about like this, and then I pull it out. So if it cuts through the scabbard, yeah, but it ain't cutting through the scabbard. I'm not going like prying this way. I'm not going like this, yanking down and pulling it out. I'm literally going the same direction like that. So If my fingers were like this, I could see that because now it's going to slide across my finger, but I don't see it. This is a solid. This thing is, it ain't cutting through that easily. I could see maybe in a few years or something if I keep taking it in and out. Yeah. But man, this thing is solid. It ain't going through that. At least no time quick. That would be difficult, but that does make sense though. I get that. I do get that. Here we go. Adam says you're meant to hold the sheath in a way and insert kukri with the spine slide along. So you're supposed to only hold it like this, you're saying, not like this, and then go. That makes sense. I'll start doing that just to make sure I'm doing it the right way. I'd hate to do it the wrong way. Watch next week. You guys, I'm gonna be a big old fucking cut across my hand. Everybody's gonna know what happened. He wouldn't listen to us. We tried to tell him. Let me go down. Rocking my to you. Famous last words. This won't cut through. Right. That's why I said that. Yeah, I probably should just listen to you guys. Unless you're dismember your hand, how you take out a knife is fine. Man, I got a cool story later for you guys. Pretty awesome story. Definitely check out Knife Sergeant. Here is the link. Go follow his channel. Oh, here we go. There's the kukri right there. Seems logical. Is the one that got it for me from Torah. Now it is an authentic kukri from Nepal. I got all the information right up there. You can see it in my video, but right there is the link. You do get some choices too. So when you're picking them out. Oh. I miss Lynn Thompson. Northwest California is the worst for knives. Redwood rainforest is relentless. Yeah, like I was saying, Mike Emler, like he says that too. Like I know a lot of people have problems with it. I just don't. Even though the humidity is insane here, I don't really have issues. Now, if I left my knives outside, yeah, but where I'm at inside, I don't have the issues. I always dry them off. I always oil them. I take care of them. So I could imagine if I just, used them and put them away. Like I was watching, what's that guy's name? Noseworthy? Kyle Noseworthy. Is that his name? He's got a channel with like 60,000 followers. Or Carl Noseworthy or something. Anyways, he posted a video with his knife collection. Every fucking knife he pulled out, or at least all the good ones, in my opinion, were all like rusty and covered with shit. And I was thinking, like, damn, bro, take care of your knives. Like one of them was the Terzola drop knife, and inside the fuller, it looked like it was caked with rust. And that's S35VN. Maybe it was just like shit, like tar or whatever he was cutting. But that's going to lead to rust, man. Wipe your damn knife off. Like, I don't, like, if I'm using my knife, I don't mind it getting covered with stuff. But before I put it away, I'm definitely cleaning all that adhesive off or whatever's on there. I'm not going to put it away with that shit on there. And when Kara does, because she does often, she'll leave it on my desk because she ain't going to clean it. So I wind up cleaning it. And then I bitch at her sometimes when I find one. I'm like, hey, what the fuck is this? And then she'll look and she's like, what? I was using it. And I'm like, yeah, clean this thing off. And she's like, that's what I have you for. And I said, well, then put it on my damn desk. Bees Blades is in here. What's up, bud? You can buy 8 to 9 kukris for the price of that Rockstead. Here you go. Facts. Ooh. Yeah, I don't get rust, but I left my Elementum on the porch once and it rusted in a couple of hours. Thank goodness for EDCI. Yeah, I've seen some patina on Bead Blast, but it was because I neglected the knife for like 6 months, right? Like I just didn't do anything with it for like 6 months. And it was so light it came right off. I still had the knife, there's no rust on it, but I've seen patina a couple times on a few knives. But even like D2 and stuff, all my D2 knives are fine. But if I sat there and didn't clean them or dry them off, or if I left them outside on the porch, of course they're gonna patina or rust. Whoever isn't following Brand Thrasher, go sub. Yeah, Kyle Noseworthy. Yes, yes, that's who it was. And I'm not talking shit about his knives. I'm just saying, like, it was just like, I was like, man, holy cow. Um, how bad his knives were. And to me, it was like, it was so easy to fix. I couldn't imagine having that because he was taking them out to do a knife collection video. And he said, I didn't clean them because I wanted to show you guys I used my knives. And it's like, what? It doesn't, like, you could tell that knife was used probably a week ago. Like, no, you didn't clean your knife in 3 months. That's what I was thinking in my head. But I don't know. I'm just talking shit now. Um, Only patina I've had was on OS 8 Bead Blast. Bead Blast is a son of a bitch. That's why I'm not a fan of Bead Blast, because Bead Blast, man, it's weird. It's not like even Stonewash. Stonewash is great. Satin Finish is great. But Bead Blast, for some reason, it's like the pockets from getting hit with the beads or with the blasting, like holds moisture or something. It's weird. Nova Scotia is in the North Atlantic, so crap rusts easily there. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm not. I'm just giving them crap. Even here, there's a lot of places like that. Hey, Bees Blades, thank you, man. Knife Informer Extraordinaire, you are the man, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Bell for you. 5 bones. Thank you. Thank you so much. What? First, last, later, brother? All right. So let's. My hinder is working finish. And I know that's where the speckles came from. So I see, like, the working finish is different than the stonewash, though, ain't it? Mine's a stonewash, and man, I think it's great. All mine have a stonewash on them, and I love them. I like that type of stonewash. In my opinion, that type of stonewash is probably the best. I'm not sure which is better, satin or that type of stonewash, but I have to manage the stonewash is better, because I guess there's different satin finishes. So there's like the polished satin finishes like Tucson, and then there's the deep satin finishes like the Evo 2.0 or whatever. So depending on the satin finishes, I think the deeper ones, yeah, would probably attract rust a little bit more, because I felt some satin finishes that were like crazy deep that I know would collect patina, but most stone washes that are done good, they're usually not bad, especially if they're polished first and then stone washed. Anal beads? Yes, exactly. Anal beads. Right. Um, where are we at? Where are we at? Hmm. Shielded knives. Stonewash will shot peen the surface a bit, won't it? Shot peen. Um, well, there's so many different types. So, like, I can say stonewash, but there's 20 different types of stonewash. I can say satin, but there's 20 different types of satin. Good stone washes are usually like they have a very fine satin finish first, or a polish first, then they stone wash it. So the finish is very smooth, and it can't really collect moisture underneath the surface. So So shielded knives. So let's talk about them. So I got a lot of comments about LTK's video. So LTK has this one right here. Hey, Shop Canadian. Thank you, man. Love the channel and appreciate all your hard work. Man, thank you. I really appreciate the donation. Thank you so much, man. So LTK did a video on this. Now, he liked the knife, but in the disassembly, he couldn't disassemble it. Why couldn't he disassemble it? Because they glued the hardware, right? So what you guys don't know is I had a conversation with the owner before I ever got these. And he said that they had a couple complaints about their knives, something like with whatever the thing, whatever product their OEM is using to, what the hell is that? I can't see what those are. Nuts. Anyways, whatever adhesive they're using or Loctite, whatever the hell it is. Oh, bees. Thank you. It's making it where it's like red Loctite basically without being red Loctite, where it's not made to come out. So you can't disassemble it. And he said that they got some complaints about that. And I said, yeah, that's a big deal. I said, you got to stop that. And this was, in the interview or whatever you want to call it, the Zoom call we had, I said, yeah, you should address that right away. And I told him exactly what to use. And he wrote it down and everything. I told him to use the blue Loctite medium hold because that will make it where your hardware won't come out. But you can also take it out if you want to without stripping the hardware. Canada's in here. Oh, fuck. So whatever they're using isn't red Loctite, but it's like a glue or something. It's something bad. I have not tried to take these apart. I don't know if they're switched yet. I am going to try it and I'll get back to you guys. But I haven't tried to take it apart. I'm guessing they're probably the exact same because I can't imagine I got anything different than what he got. His video just went up like 2 weeks ago or something. Now, thing is, though, is that he does know that and he's going to notify them. Now, I know that does not help them now, right? Because if everybody knows that their knives are going to come with hardware that's going to be impossible to get out without heat or whatever, they're not going to want to buy it. Now, there's a big population of people that don't take apart their knives. Hell, I have knives I've never taken apart. I have knives that are 3 years old, 4 years old that I've never taken apart, not once. And some people don't take apart their knives. They literally want to use them as long as much as possible without ever taking them apart. So in that case, they won't care. But the people that do want to be able to take it apart, and I think even those people might say, yeah, I don't like to take apart my knives. I won't take it apart, but I like to know that I can if I had to. So that's going to hurt them. Now, aside from that, I will say the quality feels really good. The quality feels good. The liners, you can see they're not like the shiny ass liners that a lot of cheap companies use. They got like that titanium nitrate coating or whatever on them. The action's really good. This one's my favorite one, and it's beefy. It is. Very comfortable in the hand. The action's really good. The sound is really nice. I haven't checked the steel yet, so I'm not telling you guys to go and buy it or anything. I'm just saying a lot of people were saying like, oh, they look like gas station knives on their website. And oh yeah, this was the next thing I wanted to address. I did not know about the clones on their website. I had never been to their website. So, I'm not sure anything about their website. I literally went on their website when somebody told me that, because I was sent the link. I didn't go on it. I just was sent it and used it. Anyways, my point is that I didn't know that they had clones on there or anything else. Now I see that they have cheap gas station knives and stuff. Now I don't know if maybe, I know they're a brand new knife company. I think maybe they tried to dip their toe toes into these cheap fucking knives and then realize like this is not the way to go. Or maybe they were just using their site to sell other shit. I don't know. But he wanted to make sure, he wants to get into selling good quality products. He wants to get information from the community so that he can make his products really good. And he did seem somewhat legit. You know, I can't verify if he's legit or not, but you know, the conversation we had, and him writing down information when I'm talking and stuff, you know, that seems like he's a little bit sincere. But I don't know, you know, fuck if I know. However, the knives do seem like really good quality. These ones, all the rest of those knives, and that's why he didn't try to send me any of those. He never tried to tell me about those. He never tried to advertise those. He only told me ever about the 8 knives that have better steel, better fit and finish, the ones that we got, or I got, and probably some other people. So, obviously, those other cheap, crappy knives aren't where they're trying to go. They're trying to go with better quality knives like this, which are not gas station knives. These are good quality knives. Now this one, even though it's a solid knife, everything seems great on it. I don't like the fake carbon fiber, but we've seen a lot of companies use that shit. So, and it's pretty good. I mean, like, there's things, yeah, I don't like. Like, I think the clips look cheap as hell. I agree. These clips look like shit. They probably work good, but yeah, they don't go with the style, right? Like this clip just, it doesn't look good on the knife. If this knife had a better clip, it would totally improve this whole thing just by the look of the clip. So maybe that's something we can say and he'll change, right? If he's going to improve, we'll find out. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I got either good things in the comments or a whole bunch of bad things. Like everybody was screaming that, which I understand, there was no prices on their website, which that's dumb. I don't know why he wouldn't have prices on his website. That is definitely something I will address. However, White Mountain Knives does have them. Listen to that action. This one, man, this one's really good. I do like this one quite a bit. And that fuller, you can use it. Even the drop has that little ting when it drops. All right, I have an Ozark Trail folder from Walmart that I sharpened on the Workshop Precision Sharpener, and I used it while fishing the beach yesterday with the edge I put on it. It was definitely usable. Awesome. Yeah, those Ozark Trails, you know, I think if the 440C, they'll probably be okay. If you get any of the knives that are just stainless, yeah, they're not going to be worth sharpening. And I mean that, like, not saying you can't get an edge on it. You probably could. But they're not going to hold it. And you might possibly not even be able to get a good edge on it because it's not heat treated, or at least not heat treated good. It's just raw stainless, mystery steel. So, but if it's at least 440C or HCR, you should have no problem being able to get an edge on it from Ozark Trails. Now, some of the other companies like the M-Tex and stuff like that, you know, you never know. Didn't want to ruin any of my good knives. I get it. And like I said, I honestly, this is something I actually wanted to talk about a little bit. We're going to skip forward a little bit since we're already on this subject. Or was it? Okay. So, if you want to feel a good, if you want an incredible edge, if you want to feel a level of sharpness that comes from a fucking sharp edge, like a really sharp edge, there's a few factors you have to consider, right? One being the steel, right? Steel is going to, yes, you can get any steel very sharp. Any steel can be very sharp, but some steels are going to get sharper. And everybody has their own perception of steel. So let me break it down. So like certain steels with high levels of carbides, they're going to have that level of bite at the edge because everybody, like I said, has their own perception of what sharp is. Some people's level of sharp is when they touch it. It's like, it feels like teeth. That's what I love. I love something that feels like it has a lot of bite, even if it's a mirror polished edge. If it doesn't have that, then and it's slick and I can just slide my fingers down it, that to me isn't sharp. But to some people it would be because they can still shave hair with it. They can slice through paper. So it depends on what you think sharpness feels like or is. But the steel is going to be a big factor. Now the heat treat on that steel. The heat treat is going to be a huge factor on how that knife or edge takes an edge. Now, another factor is the geometry of which, like, how even is it? Is it an even grind? Is it off? How thick is it? How thin is it? What angle did you make the edge? Because, like, say if it's, let's just spit out some numbers. Let's say it's 25 thousandths behind the edge thickness and you have a 23-degree angle. That is not going to ever feel sharp. That will, I mean, to people that don't understand sharpness, yeah, it might feel sharp, but compared to, say, 20 thousandths behind the edge and 15 degrees per side, that it's going to be night and day difference in sharpness. Like, one's going to feel insanely sharp compared to the other one, as long as the heat treat, everything else falls into place. Now, another factor though is sharpness doesn't equal. Okay, how can I put this? A good level of sharpness doesn't mean good quality edge. Okay, you can sharpen a knife and have it be so damn sharp, it'll register double zeros on the sharpness tester. I'm making that shit up, but you get where I'm going. I'm saying so sharp that it's insane. However, it's no good. The edge is no good. It's not. It doesn't have good stability. It's gonna chip. Lots of different things. Now, just like with certain steels, if you take it to a, say, like we were talking, I was talking about Maximet earlier. Maximet takes a great polished edge, a fantastic polished edge. It's so damn sharp. It's like I hope Canada's not in here, but it's so sharp. It's like some of the sharpest steel or sharpest edges you'll ever get. However, with a mirror polished edge on Maximet, it has the potential, I'm not saying it will, but it has the potential to microchip. That steel is just so hard and it has such a high carbide volume, it'll make the mirror polished edge right at the very tip of the edge microchip. Now, Talica recently got a little bit of microchipping on an edge I did for him. On 20 CV, we laid back the angle and we put a mirror polish on it. Now, that's 20 CV. 20 CV should do pretty good. Now, not necessarily, right? 20 CV does do good, but maybe it's a little bit harder than some others. Maybe it's a little, there's lots of variables, right? Just because one steel does good usually doesn't mean every single knife you get. Like, say if most hinders, let's say most hinders do good at 15 degrees per side, right? With a 3,000 grit edge, whatever, right? It doesn't mean they all are, right? So there are going to be variables. And like with his, maybe we'll remove a little bit of steel, make sure we get rid of that microchipping, and we'll lower the grit a little bit more, right? Put a little bit more of an aggressive finish. Maybe that's just too fine of an edge for that angle, right? For that angle, because we're talking 15 degrees per side. It looks fucking beautiful, right? And it's sharp, but maybe the tip of that apex is just a little bit too fragile for that angle, for that heat treat. You get what I'm saying? So, and these are things that I can't never know that. Do you know what I mean? Like, say, if I sharpen the knife, I didn't, unless if I go and use it now, then I'll have to resharpen it because I'm not going to use somebody's edge I just sharpened for them. But, that's just steel, right? So, but if you know the steel and know like little tiny details, you can kind of figure out, like I said, Maximet, you got a good chance that'll happen with Maximet. just the way it goes. And some other steels. Now, certain steels do better with a lower grit. They just do. Otherwise, they get slick. They don't have a lot of bite. Now, what can you do to increase the bite if you did want to polish that, X steel, whatever? Well, you could lay back the angle. You lay back the angle, make the angle really fine. Now your edge isn't going to be as tough, right? It's going to be very sharp, but not as tough. So there's just tons and tons of variables. Zach, stuff. Do something kind for somebody's in the house. Dropping in to say hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. Definitely do something kind for somebody today. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate the donation, man. You win some, you lose some. Mine was a loss. I don't know what that meant. How did you get the field duty so toothy? The heat treat was just good. It just felt really good. It just took it. I put a mirror polished edge on there. I went up to 3/2 micron, and it just took it. Sometimes that's just the way it goes, right? If we're talking about the mirror polish, so that steel just took it. Like now that doesn't mean that your field duty is going to do that, or your field duty. You know what I mean? Like, especially with that steel, that's M390. So M390, there's going to be variables. Now, a lot of times, so like Reat, right? Reat. I did a video on this actually where I had 2 or 3 Reats, right? All the same steel or some shit, and they all sharpened up slightly differently. One did very good, one did good, and the other one was just okay. None of them were bad. I'm just saying, like, one stood out above the other ones. It's just that's M390 for you, not so much Reat. That's M390 from production heat treats. I don't doubt that. Hugo made the best cars. S35 was a miracle, mind-blowing super steel like 7 years ago. Yeah, it's true. That's true. So was 154 CM. Hell, 440C when I was a kid was like alien steel. Seriously, I remember that shit. I remember it being so good. Like, people, the old timers were talking about it like it was diamond. Why isn't there a D3? Facts. I like 14C and 154CM. I like them all. I love them all. There are some steels I don't like as much as others, but I like them all. There's only a couple that I'm just not a big fan of. Sometimes I do a mirror and it's not toothy. I'll make a couple passes on a ceramic stick and it will give. Yeah, so what you're doing there is you're making a micro bevel. So I do that too sometimes. Sorry. So what you're doing is you're making a tiny little micro bevel. And what it's doing is it's taking, because before you did that, the grit. So let's just say my fingertips are grit. Your grit is like this on the edge, hanging up, right? It's like that. You polished it so much that it got down like this, where there's no grit, right? No bite. Once you created that micro bevel by swiping, doing a couple passes on each side, you made the teeth from the new edge, because the new edge isn't polished. The new edge is a micro bevel at whatever the ceramic is, and it goes dink and pops out some teeth for the new edge. Yeah, I do that too sometimes. Works great. And it can also help make an edge more stable. So, like, say if you lay back your edge to 15 degrees per side, and you know you're pretty tough on your edge, right? You know what you do with your knives, right? So, say if you don't just cut plastic every day, and I mean like tape and things like that. You don't just cut tape every day. You know, you break down hard cardboard and you hit plastic straps, hard plastic straps, possibly staples here and there. You might knock it on the table sometimes, whatever. Well, then you might want to put a micro bevel on your 15 degree per side, which will make the edge more stable, more tougher. Basically, it makes the edge more tougher. So you have less likely of getting microchipping at the very tip of the apex, kind of like we were saying with Talica's knife or like the Maximat. You can do the same thing with those. It'll create a micro bevel at the very tip of the edge, which in return will make the edge a little tougher. So you don't have to worry about microchipping as easily. Hey, Neville, thank you, man. What are your top 3 favorite steels out of curiosity? K390, probably crew wear, and I'm really liking this Lmax. I'll say that right now. But definitely K390, definitely. I really love crew wear. I just don't have any, but I love it. If we're talking about out of my collection, it'd probably be the K390 Lmax now and 14C28N. Now, if you're just talking about all steels, K390. I also like S90V too, though. I love 14C28N. I really want to try the Magna Cut, but it's tough, man. I love all steels. I did a top 5 steel video, and I did only steels that I had in my collection because it was hard for me to make a video saying like these are my favorite steels, but I don't own any of them, right? So my favorite in my collection is K390, and I do like S90V. I love crew wear. I love what's that other one? Can't even think of the names now. You got me brain farting over here. I love S30V. S30V is great. 20CV is great when it's done right. But yeah. It's tough. And I like Maximet too. I like Maximet. I like all steels. My favorite budget steel, hands down, is 14C28N. My favorite super steel is K390. Now my favorite stainless super steel is between S90V and now Lmax. I'm just now getting to experience Lmax, but if all Lmax is like this one, I really like Lmax. Oh, I like CTS XHP. Like I said, I love crew wear, man. Crew wear is really good. I've done some S45. S45 is nice. I want to try it some more, but 3CR is the GOAT. Yeah, Spider Coast K390 is really good. It is. It's really good. Horses, of courses. If Magna Cut holds good bite out to around 3,000, I'll have a new favorite for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to try it. I'm really excited to try it, and I think that it might possibly do that. I think they said that it can be heat treated up to 64, but I think its carbide volume is going to be big enough for that. But, I don't know. I think it's going to be able to, though. Some steels, so this is what's weird. Check this out. Okay, so I was talking about this the other day where I was talking about a lot of powdered steels don't take a great polished edge. And I said some do, though. Some do. RWL34 takes a great polished edge. CPM 154 does not, right? A lot of times the powdered steels don't do as good because they're so fine grained. The steel is so fine grained that it's too fine grained. That's basically what it is. The carbide volume can be high on it, but maybe it's just too fine grained. The carbides are just too fine. So like steels like K390 and Maximet, the carbides are massive. So in that case, even if you polish it, the carbides are still nice and big, and that's why you get a ton of bite at the edge. Now, like 14C28N, the carbides are nice and big in that steel. All right. So it winds up getting you really, really sharp edges. Now, I'm not saying that's the only factor to having a very sharp edge. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that this is the results for these. Now, Lmax is a powdered steel, and it takes a nasty polished edge, at least from my experience. So, that's to show you that, it doesn't, not saying one thing doesn't fit in every box, right? Some powdered steels do, some powdered steels don't. It does depend on maybe how fine grained, maybe their carbide volume is so high in that steel that maybe even though it is fine grained, it just has enough carbides in it to keep that level of bite. You know, something to think about. I'm pretty stoked. Mannix 2s are awesome, man. I love the Mannix 2. I love it. I think that's such a good knife. I use my Crewware Mannix 2 for everything around the house and haven't had to sharpen it yet. It's great. Yeah, man, Crewware is fantastic. And the Mannix 2 is badass too. So, my S30V, I do need to sharpen it, but even my S30V, man, I like S30V. A lot of people like S35 a little bit better because it is tougher. I like S30V, man. S30V just takes such a better edge, in my opinion. Yes, it's supposed to have better edge retention. S35 is supposed to be tougher. So, you just got to pick your battle of what you need more of, right? Do you want your steel tougher or do you want it to have a little bit longer lasting edge? But in my opinion, the S30V does take a sharper edge. And let me rephrase that. Not sharper, right? Because sharpness is just a level of an apex, right? But it takes better bite at the edge. Okay, so I wanted to show this really quick. So I'm just gonna click over here. You guys won't see what I'm doing. But what I'm gonna do is there's a video I want to show you guys. Now, right off the bat, I need you guys to tell me if you can hear the volume. 105 people in here, man. You guys are amazing. Okay, so I need you guys to tell me because this is. Let me just look it up. Now, I need you guys to tell me if you guys can hear this. I'm going to play it. Can you guys hear that?
Hello everyone,
If you guys
and welcome
can't,
back to
that's good.
Kizer official channel. I'm Damon. Today I am going to take you guys to our factory for
Yes, you guys
trip.
can. Fuck, I don't want you guys to hear it. I can't hear it unless if I turn it up right here. Let me think of this.
Are located in Guangzhou.
Oh, wait.
So I'm in Guangzhou now. I'm going to take a train to.
All right, so basically,
Yangjiang,
I don't care if you guys can hear it. Just
night.
don't pay attention to him talking. So what we're about to do is this is Kizer 10 months ago. Okay, this is their shop tour. I'm going to get to a part in just a second where we're going to see sharpening. Now, listen, I don't want you guys to hold this against Kizer because it's not just Kizer. This is every single production company does it like this. So if you don't go around saying, oh, Kizer's knives, they're all burnt edges. Every fucking production company does their edges like this, the majority. So let's take a look at their shop. It's just going to be some music playing, basically. We'll take a look at some of their CNC machines. Remember, this is 10 months ago. A lot's changed in 10 months, but let's check it out. So there we have some CNC machines. Oh, I can mute it. Oh yeah, it did mute it. Okay, I'm just gonna mute it. You guys don't need to listen to the music, so I'm just gonna mute it. I didn't know I could do that. All right. So you see the shop tour. Let me try to blow it up so you guys can see the whole thing. Okay, so there's their water grinding machine. We're gonna watch the whole thing, most of the whole thing, but when we get to the sharpening, that's where I want you to really pay attention. That beat went crazy though. That beat was bumping, wasn't it? That beat was slapping. But you can see their shop is pretty clean. I know you guys hear constantly there's a bunch of 5-year-olds making their knives. That's obviously not, I'm sure in a lot of factories there are. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying, obviously Kizer's quality is a little bit better. Now, this is 10 months ago. All right. So I'm sure even other things have improved, which we've seen too. So you see a drill press right there. I should have paused on that. We could have got all their information. Look at their little chairs. So here's a CNC machine. Story goes, those were concept CNC machines. That's a joke. It's a fucking joke. Guys, we need 20,000 today. Get them out. What does that mean? No edge, so I can set. Shane. Okay, right here, the dude sharpening. You think that, but you know how many people would be pissed if they got a knife with no sharpening? Now, pay attention here. That's polishing. Okay, so in a second, we're going to see sharpening. That was polishing. So watch when we get to sharpening, because there's something specific I want you guys to notice. So this is just them polishing some of the parts, whatever. Publishing, actually. You see all those belts? Yeah, buddy. These are probably, well, I don't know how much they are there. I know how much they are here, though. Okay, so some of the parts, the trays, obviously. Also, I want you to see at the end, you can see where they do their quality control test. And there's something I want you guys to see there, too. They do. Oh, wow. I just noticed we had like 10 people leave. 10 people are pissed. Well, I guess this wasn't the content they were expecting, but there is something here at the end I want you guys to pay attention to, because I think it's important. Hey, Aunt Dawn. Yeah, the little chairs are interesting, ain't they? And you see they're made out of bamboo. Okay, so I could just fast forward this. This guy is, I think, punching holes, or something. I forget what this guy's doing. You're going to see it right here, though. Oh, I don't know. I think he's punching. No, because the track is already in it. I don't know exactly what's happening here. Maybe the detent hole or something is being punched in. I'm not positive there. I can't tell. They're punching something, though. I used to have one of these, those machines like that at the custom window place I used to work at. We used to be able to punch holes in some really thick shit. Okay, right there, sharpening. Look what's happening. What do you see? What do you guys see that stands out? I'm pausing it. What do you guys see that stands out? What stood out right there? I'll play it right now. What is happening that you guys see standing out that's bad? What's happening right there in that picture? Sparks. Yes, Paul, sparks. That is the exact way you burn an edge. If you okay, so the belt or the wheel, whatever he's got going on there, is going entirely way too fast and is entirely way too aggressive. When you see sparks like that, it is for a fact burning the edge. Guaranteed. It's not possible to not burn the edge like that. Look at how hot it's getting. It's getting so hot. It's creating sparks. But like I said, it's nothing against Kizer, right? This is nothing against Kizer. That's every factory. And this is why we see so much where we see the cut testers saying, hey, sharpen your knives a couple times. You know, like if you are noticing like, hey man, I sharpened it once, my edge wasn't very good, or it didn't hold an edge, but for a couple days, sharpen it again, because you want to get rid of that burnt steel. So one edge might not do it. It might take 2 or 3 edges to get down to that good quality steel. And then this is another reason why I speak about geometry so much, because if I have an edge, right, that's burnt. And now I got to remove, let's say 2-3 sharpenings. I don't want my knife now to be 40 thousandths behind the edge when I finally get to good steel, right? If it starts out at 10, 12, 15 thousandths behind the edge, even if I sharpen it, if the geometry is good, even if I sharpen it a few times, I'm only going to be to what? 15, 16 thousandths behind the edge. So no problem. That's still very, very thin. Okay, so now here in a second, we're going to go to the quality control test. Shouldn't be sharpening like this. Yes, it's after the heat treat. You can't sharpen an edge before heat treat. You have to sharpen it after heat treat. The steel's not hard enough to take an edge when it's soft. So, steel before it's heat treated is very soft. Okay, here is the quality control test. Now you're gonna notice she's gonna do something. Oh no, sorry, this is laser marking. We're about to be there. I'm sorry, guys. I only watched this once, so yes, flow grown, definitely how you burn an edge. But that's every factory, or a lot of them. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them do cool their edges down. Some of them do slow their belts down. There are going to be some, right? But when you get companies that are pumping out a lot of knives like this, it just is what it is. They can't possibly bring it to you, if they're not able to pump them out fast. Now, here we go. Did you see what she just did? She's checking them. Quality test. Watch what she does. Swings it open. Bam, bam, bam. Spine whack test. I think that is amazing that they're doing that. How many times have you guys gotten a knife and you barely tap the spine and it closes on you? That company doesn't do a small spine. I'm not saying slam it with a sledgehammer. I'm not saying that. I'm saying your knife should be able to take a couple taps on the spine without any, without catastrophic failure. So I think that's a great thing that they do at least that. Make sure the lockup is good. Make sure it looks good. Make sure it can take a small spine whack test. I'm not saying, you see that little hammer he just did right there? What do you guys think he was doing there? I don't know. I think he was checking to make sure it wasn't hitting anything when closed. Or maybe he was lining up the pit. I don't fucking know what he was doing there. He hit the damn thing with a hammer, though. I wasn't saying that that's what they should be doing, but a spine whack test is definitely something you'd like to see. So here's them assembling them. Now you know who's assembling, or at least 10 months ago, who was assembling your knives. But that's it. That's all I wanted you guys to see. I thought that was pretty fascinating, so I felt like I should share it with you guys. I thought it was a fun little thing to talk about. Testing the horizontal blade play. I don't know what that smack was with the hammer. I'm guessing he was checking to make sure the pivot, like he didn't, I don't know. The only thing I could think of, because think about it, he opened it, he closed it, and then he hit it right here. So bam, bam, he just tapped. He didn't hit it hard, and it was a mallet. It's not a hammer, it's a mallet. Fucking Canada. So that's not that big of a deal, but I'm curious to what he was doing there. I don't know. Story time. Yes, story time. All right, let's do that. We didn't get to everything I wanted to talk about, but that's okay. We got a cool story anyways. So this is a story about when the ATF raided my dad's house or my family's house. So where do I start? So it starts off with it was about firearms. Okay, just to start off stories, so just so you guys know, there's probably some parts I'm gonna have to leave out, but this is a case that's already closed, so just know it's about firearms. And if you have yet to like the live, please do so. 150 would be a good number to finish with. Yeah, I would love. Oh, we're at 138 likes. You guys are amazing. 139. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate the likes. Thank you guys so much. And Breeze, Breeze hoards those likes, and I gotta thank him. Thank you, Breeze, and everybody else who stays on top of that shit. You guys are awesome. Yeah, don't fuck with the alphabet, boys. That's true. So this is what happened. So this was about firearms. Obviously, ATF stands for alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So they're like the FBI, but for those things. Anyways, so we got a tip. Whatever, from an inside person, right? We got a tip saying that they were looking into us and that there was possibly they were going to get a warrant, right, for whatever. So we kind of had a tip. So days before that, I, knew to clean up, right? To make sure I did a little thorough cleaning, did that. And days later, right, there's this Jeep, and it parks on a family member's road. And I walk out and I'm like, who the fuck is that? Right. And I go to walk up to the window. It's so tinted, you can't see nothing. Can't see nothing in the window. I'm like, who the hell is this? Right? Who has that level of tint? And as soon as I walk up to the window and I go like this to look in the window, he drives off. And now I'm pissed, right? Like first of all, you're on my road. And it's not even just like, it's a personal road, right? So it's like a driveway. So I'm like, all right, well then, like 15 minutes later, he's back. So, I go to walk up and, he does the same thing. Right. And I'm like, I'm yelling at him like, what's up, man? Who the fuck are you? Right. He bowls off, but he just turns the corner. Right. So I get pissed and I know where he's going and I can get there faster because of a trail that goes between the houses and meets up at the top. So I start running, right? I start running up the hill and I know I'm going to beat him there. Now there's a lot of construction stuff on the property. So there's wood, things like that. I pick up a 2x4 on the way. I pick up a 2x4 and I meet him as he's going by. He sees me and he floors it. And I fucking chuck the 2x4 at him, right? The 2x4 hits the back of the Jeep, right? He keeps going. Then my uncle comes out and says, hey, he goes, that's undercovers. So he goes, they're probably about to execute a raid. And I'm like, no, I didn't know, and to me, I thought, why would they be on this personal road? Like they would show up like a SWAT team, not sit there that visible, right? Well, so I had already cleaned house, so I wasn't too worried about it. But now I'm thinking I just hit the back of a truck of a fucking, undercover. Anyways, so then people start calling that have been leaving and are calling like, hey, listen, I'm being tailed. Right. And it's like, okay, let us know how it goes. Right. And then before they get to their destination, before they cross state lines, they wind up getting pulled over. And I think some of them did get across state lines and got pulled over across state lines. I'm not positive on that, but either way, they would get pulled over and their cars would just be ripped apart. So they're calling back saying, hey, just so you know, the tail I had wound up being under covers. They were wearing ATF, blah, 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 blah. Well, then one of the people, because now everybody who's leaving is getting rolled. Everybody who leaves is getting pulled over. But what they're doing is they're sitting at all the places where we could possibly leave. And they're sitting where you can't see them. So you don't realize you're going to be tailed until after you turn, right? So obviously they know how to do their shit. Well, then a group of people leave that are probably the most worried, if you guys know what I mean. Anyways, so they try to make it across state lines and realize that this guy that they're tailing them, right? So they spin around and run back, floored, like just running back. They're chasing them back now, right? So they wind up stopping in front of the place because I think they called me. They called me and they said, yeah, listen, they are tailing us, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, just come on back. All right, just come on back. So they tried. Well, they made it, but by the time they made it, we're being closed in on, right? So cars are coming out of everywhere. The whole fucking block is lit up. All ATF, they come out with, ARs and everything, are forcing them out of the cars. blah, blah, blah. Well, they're not on the property, they're on the road, right? They want on the property. That's what they want. So they don't have technically a warrant yet, but they're going to get it. 100% they're going to get it. So they want to search the property, right? So I spoke to my old man and everything, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, let them on, right? We already cleaned house, so to speak. So we let them on the property, and so they come on. And, before that, I had a phone, and while all this stuff is going down, you know, they got my cousin on the road and all kinds of shit. They got their ARs and everything else. I have a phone, but it doesn't have a camera on it, but I'm acting like it does. I'm acting like it does. And that pisses them off. They get mad that I'm recording them, even though I have every right to record them. But yeah, so then they start pretending like they're recording me as if I give a fuck. Or actually recording me. I don't know. Maybe they weren't. But that really pissed them off, and I could tell they got salty over that. Well, I'm being a complete dickhead about everything, right? They want to come on the property. No, go fuck yourself, right? But my old man's like, yeah, let them on, you know. So they come on, they start searching everything, right? Searching everything, and I mean everything. The backyard, underneath things, underneath. They were practically digging up the yard, like they were doing everything. So while they're doing it, one of the, you know, they're all wearing their ATF stuff. This one guy pulls up, and he's in the most shit van you could ever imagine. I'm talking about like what you would think a painter that has an old van would be driving, like a 1990 old Chevy van that's you know, it has nothing in the back. It looked like it had a bunch of garbage in the back with spray painted on the side, all fucked up. And he gets out, and he's young. He's a young black dude, probably like 25, 30, maybe. He looks young though, but he looks like someone off the streets. Like you would never think he would, you know, you would think he was like a gang member or something. Dressed in regular clothes, like regular street clothes, but he has a badge around his neck on a chain, on a silver chain or a white gold chain. And I couldn't help but keep staring at him, right? Because I'm thinking like that van, right? I know I'm gonna end up seeing that van around, right? Because the other cars you could see a mile away. Their tints are so dark you can't see through their shit. So to me, it's like I'll spot those cars anywhere, because I mean, like literally, it's so dark, it's crazy. And all of them had that. And they were all regular cars. None of them were cop cars. All of them were regular cars. But this van was a fucking work van, like literally a work van. And I knew like it would be something that if he was around the area, I would spot that a mile away. So I was like trying to like focus on it and things like that. You know, I don't know why. Maybe if I seen him around the neighborhood, I could say like, hey man, that's a cop or whatever. So they come in, and they're wanting to search the safes and wanting to search this and wanting to search that. They didn't wind up finding anything. They arrested the people that did run from them, and then the charges wound up, you know, coming in, and things wound up happening. But no, it's an interesting situation though, having the ATF you know, raid us and deal with all that, because I don't know, it's just weird because they, you know, the way they searched and the way they went about it. Luckily we already knew, right, that it was going to happen. Otherwise it could have been really bad. But always record. So after that, we wound up getting cameras on the property and everything, and I pretended I was recording. They thought I did. They actually thought I did. I can't remember exactly what was said, but so I remember I hit the car with the 2x4. So they're pissed off at me already. When they showed up and they actually came on the property now, and now like I'm face to face with these dudes, I'm talking shit, like kind of being a little prick. But to me, I'm watching them drag my little cousin across the road. I'm seeing all this shit happen, you know. I'm just, you know, whatever, being a little protective. And, you know, and I seen the guy who's in the Jeep that I hit with the 2x4. The one guy that was pissed off at me trying to record him with a non-recordable phone. He thinks I actually have that footage on there though. So he's like talking shit, saying something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I remember there was something said. But then when they were, because my dad, he's paralyzed, so he's in bed, so he has to deal with them around his bed. I didn't get him up out of bed. One, he had some sores, so he was bedridden at the time. But besides that, you know, it wasn't smart for me to get him up out of bed or whatever. For that type of situation, probably wouldn't have went well. You know what I mean? Who knows what he would have done? But how old was I? I was in my 20s. I don't know, 27, maybe 26. I'm gonna start reading the comments. I had an older lady freak out on me because I pulled out my spectacle dragonfly out to open something. Would have swore I pulled out a full size katana the way she freaked out. One more for 160 likes. No shit. I already liked my own video. That's crazy with only 2 dislikes. Talk about a good ratio. I'd guess he was about 20ish. I was older than that because Andrew was already dead. So Andrew was dead. He died when I was 21 or 22. I think 22. And then it was a couple years after that. My dad was alive, so I was definitely, because he died when I was 30. So I was probably like 26, I'm guessing. I think that's about how old I was. 25, 26. So you're Canadian? I'm not Canadian. French Canadian. Some of me. I'm a mutt. I'm mutt as you can get. Even on the 23andMe list of shit, it's just bam, 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 bam. I'm from fucking everywhere. I'm literally the biggest mutt ever. Crazy how some people look at knives as only weapons and freak out if you pull out one of your pockets. Yeah, I know that's pathetic. It's so pathetic because the same people have no problem pulling out a knife in their kitchen, right? Or a utility blade. It just doesn't make sense. You can tell who's been, I don't know, I guess protected their whole life in like a little cubicle box, a bubble of, 165 likes. Damn, you guys have really been hoarding these likes tonight. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. I'm pretty sure Lefty is live right now. I'm not positive, but yeah, not crazy, ignorant. Yes, you got it. And that to me is some of the most dangerous people are the ignorant ones, because can you imagine? Just imagine, put yourself in this like little imagination land. Imagine talking about cars and you don't know how to drive one. You've never driven one. You've never been in one, right? You see them, right? But then you're trying to tell people the rights they should have with cars, the laws they should have with cars, but you've never driven one, right? Never, it's just like, it's so pathetic, right? It's like pathetic to think like that, to think you know nothing about them, yet you're going to tell me about them, right? Or tell me how I should use them or anything. It's just so weird. Or even like if you go as far as like a dog or something, right? Like somebody who's never owned a dog or anything like that wants to tell you about your dog or about how you should train your dog or something like that. It's like, you've never even had a dog. Bad boys, what you gonna do? My body, my choice. That's right. Thank you, Jared, for another live stream. Thank you, guys. MC and Little Fit Devil are live. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna let you guys go and hang out with them. I know you guys probably have a lot funner channels to go hang out with. This was an interesting one. We didn't get to all the topics, but that's okay. We got to a lot of them. I love you guys. I appreciate all the donations. I appreciate all the likes. Crazy amount of likes. What are we up to now? I have to double check. 169. Holy shit. I think that's the record. I'm pretty sure that is the record. And 170 now? No way. Let's see. I'm going to double click this. 170. That is definitely the record. Holy shit. Mic drop. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate everything. Patreons. Don't miss the giveaway tomorrow. I love you guys. Peace.